Dr. Schuckett, can the CDC confirm what I said earlier, that we have not had a case of Zika infection from a mosquito in the United States? Everything is coming in so far from another source. Is that correct?
For the 50 states and the District of Columbia, that's right. We do have cases in Puerto Rico and the territories.
Okay, so Puerto Rico and the territories,
Virgin Islands and American Samoa at this point, I believe they're,
okay. But
continental U.S.,
continental,
50
everything.
states, not yet.
Now, the next thing, and I just became more concerned as I heard Dr. Armstrong reveal the issue with pregnant women, and we think there's a link, a pretty good link to some birth defects. And this is a transportation oversight subcommittee along with other things, but these people are coming in mostly from Latin and South America by air. Are there warnings now to people coming in? Is everyone getting a warning who comes in, particularly women? I'd be concerned. When I read all this testimony last night, it seems like the women are the most at risk. We don't know. But are they getting a warning?
We've been working very closely with the air travel industry and other travel partners, so there is signage and so forth.
I think that, again, it would be good to send out something that, and that the airlines cooperate. They always cooperate. We've had the bird flu. We've had other Ebola, others. But I think we need to get a warning, and it's not that many coming in. We know where they're coming in from, but the infected areas, that there be some kind of warning to the passengers. We do know that there's this, and I'm not technically qualified, I give the wrong terms, incubation or whatever you call it, period. The period of vulnerability from 21 to 30 days, that's pretty much agreed on, Dr. Fauci? We think? You just stopped saying, you said stop having sex for 30 days or something like that.
Infected, you will clear the virus within 7 days, usually, and therefore for the rest of the time, generally, except if you're a male and it could be in the semen, which has been demonstrated in a number of individuals.
We don't know how long that's
we don't know. It's been in some, unfortunately, as far out as 62 days.
As far as what?
One was 62 days, but that's maybe an outlier, but we don't know how long it can stay.
Well, again, I think the first thing is getting the warning out there. These are people coming into the United States from infected areas. So that would be my concern, and we need to work with the aviation industry to get these warnings out there, particularly among women, and then advise them of the risk that we know so far. Okay, I have a release from the governor's office just a couple minutes ago, 227, asking the Center for Disease Control for another 250 kits to test for Zika virus. Are you able, now you've already cooperated and you guys have been there, Dr. Armstrong, the requests have gone in. Everything's been done in a timely fashion. Are we able to meet this request and where are we in the stockpile of making certain we have the test kits?
You know, we have been working around the clock to produce kits and to develop even better tests. And one of the reasons for the emergency request is the volume. We estimate about 500,000 pregnant women will be traveling back and forth to affected areas this year, 35,000 pregnant women in Puerto Rico alone. And so keeping up with that volume for the state support is one of the reasons for the emergency request.
But do we have the test kits now or ordered? Is there, you just said there may be a big need.
Yes,
Our
absolutely.
job is to stay ahead of the curve, and your job. Do we have the test kits? Like, here's one small additional order, and can we meet additional? Where
we are right now.
You have the orders in.
We've produced about 30,000.
Okay.
And we'll have about 90,000 shortly.
Okay.
So we're working round the clock.
Okay.
And we're
Now, the
actually
other-
working with private partners so that they can help us scale.
Okay, so we're alerting, we're going to, if we haven't, we're going to alert people coming in. We're going to work with you on that. I want the test kit, we want to make sure we have test kits available and the supply. Thing that startled me was the blood supply, because this is in the blood. We should also have a warning about, there ought to be 60, 90 days, a warning that people should not donate blood or identify that they've been to a country where they've been exposed when they're coming back.
Yes, the FDA has, actually voluntarily, the blood banks did that with a month, self-deferral within a month, and the FDA instituted it formally. There's also effort now in Puerto Rico to import blood because the virus
They
is
think it might
spreading.
be in
Yeah, because they can't assure that local blood will be okay.
and
But
is
there's
FDA
also,
giving a proper warning? I mean,
absolutely, the
God bless
FDA
the people of
yeah.
Puerto Rico. They should, have some
And there-
transparency in the blood supply,
Right.
truth and.
And there's a accelerated effort to develop screening tests so that blood can be assured to be safe in endemic locations.
Okay, now, you guys have been great in identifying the course forward. I've got a couple of quick questions. Where the testing, and you're trying to get more advanced tests, and a lot of it evolves around the president's request. It was a good request. I just read it. Where's my president's request here, guys? Here it is, from the White House to the Speaker and all the members. And he asked for about $1.8 billion. Now, coincidentally, and I didn't know this, I have a letter back from Mr. Rogers, the Chairman of Appropriations. There's about $1.8 billion available with leftover money from Ebola. Do you have the ability to move that money into where we need it? I'll ask both of you,
Sure.
CDC, NIH.
A couple key points about Ebola. The outbreak is out of the headlines,
Yeah.
but there is still substantial effort. Last month,
But you still have a balance of about 1.8 or $9 billion.
the CDC doesn't have that large a balance for Ebola. Our Ebola resources are either committed or.
Well, the administration does have, again, from Mr. Rogers, the Chairman of Appropriations, is saying that that's unexpended dollars. My whole question is, there's some money available. Do you have money to address this now? Are you short?
The resources for Ebola are committed. They're global health security
No, but-
resources,
Okay, then,
which
do you
are
have
fully
resources
programmed.
now? I mean, we do a lot of things around here by executive order. We shift money. I mean, that's in a nanosecond, you can see the president or the administration shifting money to some cause.
Right.
Do you have that ability to get the test kits and then I want to ask Dr. Fauci, because you've got a whole bunch of things in research. It was fantastic news to hear the summer trials. By this summer, you're moving ahead, and you showed us how you're doing that. But I want to know and assure these members that you feel that you have the resources and support from the administration to move forward. Do you, Dr. Fauci?
Our proportion of the Ebola money, we have.
Well, you have Ebola and you have other money.
No, but I'll explain to you what we're doing. So our proportion of the Ebola money, we've essentially spent all of it except for maybe $9 million. So we've obligated almost all of our Ebola.
You have other sources.
Our sources right now, without the supplement that's been asked for by the president, is moving money out of doing other things. So let me tell you what we've done. We have money that we have been investing in contractors and grantees who do flavivirus research, both in the United States and Brazil. We've now directed them to switch over and add on Mica.
They're under contract to address this.
Right, yeah, but they're going to have to not do other things in order
Okay.
to do that.
And do you have people under contract?
The global commitments have been made to 17 high-risk countries in Africa and Asia, which are very vulnerable for exactly what happened with Ebola.
But you're directing some of those funds now to Zika. Is
What-
that 17 countries you're
What-
talking about, or
No,
something
no,
else?
those resources are for African countries.
But for what? Ebola or for other diseases? All of the above?
To prevent, detect, and respond to threats, including.
So
should
it
they have
could be Zika.
In those countries, they're not having Zika, so essentially.
Well, it is in different
Right,
continents.
exactly. The geography of that global
And
funding
do
was
you
for the
intend to
most vulnerable.
redirect some of that money now that we have this?
We think that would be terribly dangerous in terms of the outbreaks that are
Okay,
ongoing.
again, what I'm trying to get is to make certain you have the resources, and if you don't have them, we need to know. We need to know that also the things that need to get under contract are under contract for the test kits, for the research, for the vaccine, for moving this little protocol forward, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, so just so that I can clarify, in order to get a jump start, we took money that we had allocated for things like dengue and moved it over. I will not be able to proceed with the trial that I described to you without additional money, which
Okay.
is one of the reasons
That's
why.
what,
That's the
see,
point.
that's what we need to know. and
I
we need
won't
go
be
back-
able to do that
We
without
need to tell
additional
our
money.
colleagues,
Right.
the request is in, the President gave it to us last week, and we'll have to work with
Right.
our leadership, but we want you to have the funds
Right.
available. We don't want to neglect important research. And one of the reasons I voted for the omnibus is we have additional money in research. I was
Right.
told Alzheimer's and some other disease, you
Right.
can't rob Peter to pay Paul.
Our summer
Well-
plans are dependent upon the supplement.
Okay. All right. Well, again, I have other questions like notifying our DOD and overseas personnel through state and DOD. Are there official notices going out on the risks and the warnings and all of that?
Yes, we've been working closely with those other departments
Okay.
for the Americans overseas.
We got families and
Absolutely.
everybody out all around the globe. I've gone over my time. We'll come back because we've got plenty of time, as you can see with the members that are here.